Hey everyone, happy Monday, happy Money Monday. And today, welcome to day number 20 of 90 Days Live. Today, I wanted to talk about something that's really important. Oh, excuse me, I'm still dealing with this cough, y'all. Dealing with this book called Think Like a Billionaire, Become a Billionaire. And there was something in there that he talks about was raising your AQ. And he called the AQ um, adversity quotient, meaning that you don't want to take a victim mentality, right? That in order to cross over to wealth and abundance, it takes it takes um taking responsibility and really getting to a point to where um you believing that you can do it basically. And so the very first thing that was really interesting to me was that the very first point that he made was believe that God is a good God. And so what he meant in there is we all know that my God is a good God. Yes, he is. My God is anyways, I don't know why I snap my fingers, normally clap, stand up in church. I don't know. Maybe because I don't have no pew or anything like that. But we was singing testimony service, right? And it was saying that you have to be convinced that God is a good God all of the time. Like if you think that God is beating up on you and just wanting bad things to happen for you and that he's against you, then it's you're going to get demotivated. Because the thing is who's gonna beat God, right? You can't beat God. No one can defeat God. So if you think that God is just has it out for you and has a lightning bolt and can't wait to just until you mess up or anything, and he's just having all these bad things happen to you, then it's going to be really difficult for you to um be motivated to feel that you can conquer certain things. However, if you switch the mindset and really believe that God is for you, because if you think about it, even with a child, right? Um, and you guys may have dealt with this, may have not dealt with this, right? Where, you know, I feel like these lights are playing with me because they're like coming in and out. But with kids, right? Kids is really important because like as if with my daughter, I feel like something's going on with the connection, but hopefully it's all good. But like with my daughter, if she thinks I'm upset or I feel like she can't do it or I just want her to feel right, she is not going to be motivated to do her homework or do anything. However, if I believe, yes, Taylor, you can do it, you can make it happen, she is going to feel like she has everything within her to go against the challenge that she faces. And so you have to think about it as if with God, if you think that God just has it in with you, you ain't been living right, and God just is just making all these bad things happen, then it's going to be hard for you to view God in a way that view God in a way to um where he's not angry with you, right? So you think that because good things happen in your life, you think it's because God is upset with you or he just has it out for you. Or if you think whenever things are good, you think God is, just all the way happy with you. So we do it based on our circumstances rather than based on who he is. When we realize that God is who he is, which he is good, and like here's the thing, like if he didn't love us, right, he wouldn't have sent his son, right, his only begotten son, um sacrificed him, right, and then had him raised from the dead in order to set us all free. Then I mean, what is the rest of this for, right? So the thing is that um if we know that God has called us in his kingdom, then we have to know that salvation is way more than, I don't know what lights are going in and out. This is freaking me out. Okay. Salvation is just much more than let me just make it to heaven, right? It's not only that. Actually, there was a thing from this Sunday. There was a message from this Sunday which Dr. Robert Dow talked about, was that there was this man who went on a cruise boat and he packed his food. He packed like some ham sandwiches and some crackers, and he would walk by and he would see people eating steak and eating pizza, and he would be like, wow, that is great that they get to eat all that. Well, I'm just happy that I'm on this cruise boat, so let me go in here and eat my cheese and crackers, right? So he would go up to his room and eat his cheese and crackers. He would go again, and then he was just like, you know what, how much would it be to get some of that food? Actually, if we want to put ourselves on Front Street, I'm gonna put myself on Front Street, because I just went on a cruise after how many years we've been married? 11 years since our honeymoon. We went on a cruise, and on that cruise, there was this pizza place. I'm telling you, we would look down and we'd be like, wow, man, man, they're in that line for that pizza. That is crazy. Like, man, like we have money. I don't know why. I just didn't do it. I just was like, I, I don't know. Maybe we'll take the kids there or whatever. So I think it was maybe like the fourth or fifth day where my mother in love, was down there, and I was just like, you got to pay for this. She's like, no, you just go up there and get the pizza. So I was on this cruise for I don't know how long. I think it was only like a 3-day cruise, but still, that was like the best food I had eaten on that whole cruise, was that pizza. And that was because I didn't know we had access to that. So you have to know that when you're in the kingdom of God, that you have way more access than what you think you do, right? It's great that you're on a cruise boat, you're on Noah's Ark, you made it, but there's so much more that God has in store for you. And you have to believe that. And you have to know that, yes, whatever you're enduring right now, that doesn't mean that he's against you. Just know that he's for you, and that um when you're aligned in his will and when you're aligned with his purpose, right? That he's going to just make sure that things align. But one thing I'll tell you too is that whenever there's intention, or whenever there's someone that's trying to go after something, right? Whenever there's creation, even when there was creation, the earth was void, right? And without form, and darkness filled over the earth. And so knowing that, yes, there may be some excitement over a creation or a new idea, but after intention comes disruption. There's some type of disruption. And so what do we have to do? We have to speak, right? We have to speak light into a dark situation. We have to fill where there's a void. Like, there are so many issues that just because we see them as problems, we have to ask God to show us what he has given us in order to solve the problems that are in front of us. So that is something that can be worth millions in itself, right? That can be worth millions within itself, because it only takes one word that God can speak to you that can solve a problem, solve an issue, and then next thing you know, you're on the front of Forbes magazine or whatnot. Like, it can just be like that simple. So what's important? Know that God's for you, right? Know that he is for you and not against you. And not just in a fact of, keeping all the haters away, but whenever you are taking on risk. Because if you look in the Bible, there were people that took on risk. He told people to take on risk, even when they didn't believe in themselves. He told them to take on risk. And so whenever he came to Gideon, he said, hey, you mighty man of valor, you're going to defeat these people. And he said, who, me? I'm the least in my household. Like, it's crazy how we're able to tell God about our weaknesses. We're able to tell God about our deficiencies. Like Moses, he said, listen, I can't speak. I don't even know how to speak. I stutter. What's going on? How am I going to speak to Pharaoh? And then God's just like, yo, do what I told you to do, right? Tell him that I am sent you. And so the thing is, is that when we believe that we are sent by God, then we have the confidence to go forth. And so I don't know. Like, I think about when I was a little kid, like when my parents sent me to do something or to go somewhere, right? I had their authority to go forth and to carry out a transaction. Not like, I don't know, I thought that didn't sound right, but I would go to the store for them and get stuff for them or whatever it is because they have given me the authority. And so when I went in a confidence of my parents. I went in a confidence of my father, like whoever sent me to the store. And guess what? They sent me with the resources. So when my parents would send me to the store, they sent me with the resources to go buy the thing that they told me to go buy. And I went in their authority. Like that's the thing. And so many of you who are older who used to go buy things for their parents. It may have been cigarettes, right? It may have been things like that. Now, I didn't do that. I think my brother did that. But yeah, so, anyways, but yeah, but that's the thing that whenever God charges us to do something, that we have to not do it based on our our strength. We have to do it based on the authority of God. And once we recognize that we need to put on his authority, then that means that we have all the authority, all the power to go forth. That's why the Holy Spirit has come to live within us so that we can say, okay, God, what is it that you would have for me to conquer today? What's the challenge? What's the problem, right? There's nothing too big for God. And so once we know that, once we recognize that, we can say, okay, God, you I'm seeking your wisdom. I'm seeking your understanding. What is it? There is nothing that should hold you back from doing what God told you to do, right? There's nothing that can hold you back. So be bold, right? Be bold. Step out. Don't be afraid to step out. Don't be afraid to take the risk. Take the risk, cross the line, cross the boundary, whatever that is. Don't be afraid to do that because you have to know that there's a reward on the other side. There is a reward on the other side. Yes, sometimes God called us out, right? He may have called you out of poverty. He may have called you out of debt. He may have called you out of financial entanglements, right? Financial entanglements. Financial entanglements. He may have called you out of that. Once he calls you out of that, guess what? He calls you into something else. And so sometimes we get caught in the in between stage of what he called us out from to where he's trying to take us to. Why did he call you out of debt? Why did he call you out of poverty? Why did he call you out of like the financial? I hope someone's here that I know. Yeah, this house, we live all night. Now I'm just playing. I'm getting ready to go to sleep. But, anyways, why would he call you out of that? The reason why he will call you out of that is because he's trying to call you into something. So from poverty into prosperity. What does the Bible say? He called us out of darkness into his marvelous light, right? So understand this. And this is something that I heard from mentor Myron Golden that said that whatever degree of adversity that you are, and I know this is in a book too, whatever degree of the adversity that you're in, understand that you can be on the opposite end of it to the same degree. So if you're like broke, understand that there is a capability for you to be on the opposite end, to be rich, right? So just know that there's always a two-sided coin. Everything is two-sided. If I just said this phone is only one-sided, you would look at me crazy. There's always two sides. And so you have to understand that whatever adversity that you're in, that there's always a flip side to that you can actually be standing on as well too. So be encouraged by that. Please note that. So anyways, that's all I got. Just wanted to say hello and happy Monday. I got all hype. My voice is still coming back. So God bless y'all, and I will see you all, Lord willing, tomorrow. Bye-bye.